Hello, it is Wednesday, August 31st, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Wednesday puzzle, and it is the end of the month, so tomorrow will be September, and this eve of September edition of the Daily Solve, I don't really know why I felt the need to mention that, but it's true. It's the end of a month. Anyway, it's been brought to us by Joe Percy, Jake Rodkin, and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, and the indomitable Shoalmaster. Thank you so much to the 5 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for directly supporting this channel. I do very much appreciate it, so thank you if you are one of the people counted in that number. And if you'd like to become one and get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can of course find that at patreon.com/dailysolve or in a link in the description field underneath the video. And if you become a patron at any level, you can get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And thank you to everybody who is back to the Patreon campaign in any capacity at any time. I do very much appreciate it. And what else? Do subscribe to the channel. We're under 200 away from the 10,000 subscriber mark, which is very exciting. And you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server with the link in the description field underneath the video as well. Also, while you're subscribing, why not like some of these videos as well? It doesn't hurt. All right, now let's get on to the puzzle. This is a Wednesday puzzle, so another themed puzzle, maybe a little bit trickier than what we solved over the last couple of days. And it was constructed by Joe Dini, who has been responsible for around a dozen New York Times crosswords, and it was edited, of course, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving, shall we? Chaps could mean chaps as in men, fellows, that sort of thing, or as in Mars, as in chaps, it's sort of scuffs, or it could be an article of clothing, but I don't really see any of them that fit in 3 letters. So yeah, I don't know. Its 27-inch model was discontinued in 2022. What an incredibly specific reference. Is it the iMac? Was there a 27? I'm just saying that because I can't. 27-inch model is something with a screen, surely. And the only manufacturer of computers who has brand names that I think are anywhere close to ubiquitous enough to be in the New York Times crossword would be Apple, because the other ones just have, the model names are all like 20 letters in a row and things like that. So I'm just guessing this must be iMac. That is shocking to me. TripAdvisor recommendation, perhaps. An inn, maybe? Could stay at an inn. Nickname for Mowgli in the Jungle Book. Man-ape? I don't remember. I think I read the Jungle Book when I was very young, and I saw the Disney film when I was young as well, but I don't remember. Away from land is a C at sea. It's lowered in the drive-through line. A car window? Organization that sent Perseverance. Oh, here we go. So this will be a spacecraft, so NASA. So is this man-ape? Is that the nickname for Mowgli in the Jungle Book? I mean, that would make sense. Oh, maybe not. Oh. Call from a cornfield. Ba, like a sheep? Is there some reason that would be the case? Maybe car window's wrong. Oh, no. Maybe it's caw, like a crow, for which you'd erect a scarecrow. Oh, Man Cub, that's it. I do remember Man Cub is the nickname for Mowgli, the I guess protagonist in the Jungle Book, the child raised in the wild, in the jungle. Okay, so type of meal first sold by C.A. Swanson & Sons. Well, I'm not expressly familiar with C.A. Swanson & Sons, but it must be a TV dinner based on these crosses. And then it looks like this is being indexed by our revealer here. So why don't we take a look at that? I can't ignore it. It's all lit up. This is all lit up. Dubious food eating guideline, or a hint to the answers to this puzzle's starred clues. I don't actually know. We'll come back to it. You might be on it during a meeting. You might be on edge. I mean, that might be accurate, but probably not what they're looking for. You might be on mic if it's a sort of modern video meeting. I'm not sure. To be covetous of somebody or something, you could envy them or it. And a connection point could be a node. So chaps, it is men. That was the first thing I said. I think I said, like men or fellas. What on earth? Why didn't I think? And then I said, there aren't any three-letter words. Well, I didn't say that, but I said I couldn't think of any, but I just said one. You might be on it during a meeting. On mute. Okay, so it is referring to modern video conference meetings. And then a card game cry is Uno, as in the card game Uno. Only about 1/6 of these in humans is visible. The eyes. Yeah, that makes sense because we only see a little segment of them. Wagnerian princess would be Isolde, Tristan und Isolde. And then Michigan, the opera, and then Michigan football rival for short. OSU, Oklahoma State University, I'm guessing. The first thing that came to mind was Oregon, but geographically that makes less sense. Okay, figure out is to suss something out, to figure it out. And a multimedia-focused school organization is AV Club. Oh, interesting. So we have AV and TV. So that seems relevant. It seems relevant. Cover in a way. And sporty Italian auto informally. Alfa Romeo. It's a sporty car make. And if one goes first, one leads. To give in is to cave. Yeah, you cave, you give in. And to cover in a way is to what? I still don't see this. This looks like 5, doesn't it? Dubious food eating guideline. 5 square meals or something? That doesn't really work. Pub pick could be an ale. You could order a pint of ale at the pub. And, to veil. A cover is a veil. Right, you put a veil over your face, a cover. Okay. So, what else can we do? Dictator Amin would be Idi Amin, notorious dictator, and minor discovery would be a vein, maybe a vein of ore in a literal mine. So the question mark here is indicating a bit of punnery or wordplay. So we read minor discovery, and it sounds like minor, minor, as in a small discovery. And for that reason, I don't actually know that we strictly need the question mark, because if you just look at the clue, you can see that the E in minor, it would almost be serving as the pun indicator, because you realize, it sounds like the phrase minor discovery, but it's actually referring to something in a mine. There must be some sort of pun going on here. But in any case, we've been given the question mark to indicate a pun, so this would refer to a vein of ore. And a hospital bag full, right? So EV serum, maybe? Intravenous serum, perhaps? So yes, all of our theme answers feature a V in the second position. Devours with down, scarfs down, so... IV fluid rather than IV serum. There we go, that's fine. Hard or soft finish, hardness or softness, and there's a question mark indicating the linguistic little punnery of this. So the finish just means a suffix that can be appended to the word hard or the word soft, so hardness, softness. Some convention offerings, not sure. Buy at the French Open, you might say adieu. So buy is a term in sports, sort of, brackets and tournaments and things. But in this case, I think the French Open is just being used not to indicate a sporting event, a tennis event, but rather just that we're using the French language. So to say goodbye, you could say bid adieu. Inundates with some junk is spams. You could spam someone's email inbox, inundate it with junk mail. And an academy enrollee, especially in a military sense, could be a cadet. Charger could be a steed, a horse. And an international athlete who twice made Time's list of the 100 most influential people in the world. Messi, Lionel Messi. It's a football player, soccer player I recognize, whose name I recognize. Spice in Springerle cookies. Is that German? I don't know. It looks like anise, the sort of licorice-like spice. And Oscar winner Witherspoon would be the actor Reese Witherspoon. And some convention, I see, panels. So you might attend a panel discussion at a convention. Okay. My lotto ticket might be the winner. I feel lucky? No. I mean, any lotto ticket might be the winner, but I assume that this is implying more than just possibility, but rather perhaps some kind of hope or even expectation. Toro or Shiro Maguro at a sushi bar. Oh, I'm not sure offhand. What about this? Busy day in retrospect. A mess, not sure. A slog, maybe? This doesn't have to be in retrospect, though. It could be a slog during the day. Division of a newsroom. Op-ed, or... It's not really news. Not sure. Director Kazan, Elia Kazan, film director. And code component... Oh, law, right. Code of laws. Yes, as opposed to code as in a, not code in a cryptographical sense, as some, encoding a message or something, but rather component of a legal system. Okay, right, this is my lotto ticket might have, I have a feeling or something, I'm still not sure. Oh, 5-second rule. Oh, right. Oh, that's incredibly clever. Oh, that's funny. So the 5, a V, Roman numeral for 5, is in the second position, as I observed, in each of these theme answers. And so the clue here, dubious food eating guidelines. So the 5-second rule referring to the ostensible rule that if a bit of food has only been lying on the floor or the ground for a duration of time, I guess, under 5 seconds, it's safe to eat, which of course is, I would say, a pretty spurious rule, but it is stated enough, even if in a jokey sense, to be a thing that people know and say and refer to, whether or not they believe it. And it is also describing our theme answers with a V in the second position. Very, very good. Up in the air for short. Could be literal or metaphorical. I'm not sure. What have we not seen yet? Real ID issuers in brief. Oh, this is something that I think is happening now in the US, which is that you need, for the purposes of certain things like flights, you need a more secure form of identification. So some older IDs, such as driver's licenses, are going to stop being valid, maybe, to get on flights. I'm not 100% certain of all of the details of this, but anyway, I suspect for that reason, this answer is DMVs, Departments of Motor Vehicles, which is what most but not all states in the U.S. call the driver's licensing authority. Okay. Camper's Place, maybe. Well, we have the V, so we have the one. Let's see. We could I guess we could instantly put 2 more V's in the grid. We could put one here, and we could put one here. So what was this? Up and coming group in high school athletics. JV, junior varsity squad? JV squad? Is that so? Right. So the varsity team is that this senior level? Is it based on skill, or is it based on sort of age or grade? I think it's based on grade, and so junior varsity would be underneath that. I could be wrong. I don't know. As always, I'm hopeless when it comes to sports. I'm sorry. Eddie Bauer competitor is J. Crew. It's an American clothing retailer. And there you go. Voila, you might say. So there we have almost mirroring the position of our other French word there, adieu. Smooth kind of finish could be a satin finish, maybe. And something to think about. And here we have covers, coats. So we had a cover, which was a veil, and now we have the verb covers as coats. Bris, bat mitzvah, and others. So these are Jewish rites, a bris or bar mitzvah. And because we're saying and others, we're referring to all of these things collectively. So it's a plural answer, not a singular one. So we have rights. Good name for a home renter. What is that? Oh, and what is this? This looks strange. Oh, it doesn't. Something to think about is an IQ test. Okay. I thought maybe my JV squad inference was incorrect, but no. We have an IQ test here. Something to think about. And of course, there's a question mark again there, indicating a bit of punnery or wordplay. Elise? Good name for, is that because it's like lease? To lease a home? Electronically, an e-lease? Doesn't seem quite right. I'm not sure. If someone joneses for someone, that person wants them or it or whatever it was. If they want something, they jones for it. Okay, dishevels is musses. Okay, this is Elise. Good name for a home renter, Elise. I guess it's, sorry, I'm very sorry if I'm missing something blindingly obvious about how this name is pronounced or what the syllables are doing. I guess it's just that it includes the word lease, but maybe there's something even more going on there that I'm not seeing. Anyway, what is this? Let's do this. I'm in. My lotto ticket might be the winner. I can. Oh, I see. Right. It is. That's funny. It was not necessarily an expression of confidence. It was my original way of interpreting this, which is that literally any lotto ticket might be the winner. So it's not so much I think I'm going to win. It's that, well, someone's going to. It may as well be me. I can dream. Okay, horror film cry. I don't know. Oh, right, and didn't look back at this. Federal tax incentive for buying a Tesla, say. I'm not sure. I guess this will be a U.S. sort of tax break targeted at electric vehicles, so an EV rebate, maybe? Might be the answer. Layer between the sclera and cornea. These are parts of the eye, so the uvea is the layer between the sclera and cornea. Oh, horror film cry is run. I see, yes. I was thinking a cry in terms of responding to, I don't know, something frightening or an attack or something, but no, it's something that one character would cry towards another, run from the the attack or monster or whatever. All right, so here we have Blank Flux, 1990s MTV series. I've seen I've never actually seen this. It was a cartoon that had really, my memory of sort of just seeing clips and commercials or whatever was that it had a sort of almost psychedelic, like sort of cyber psychedelic kind of aesthetic, I guess, is probably vaguely what that was. I couldn't tell you much else. OR staffers are ENs? It's some sort of nurse. What is that? I can't remember. I think is it emergency nurse? Probably not. Anyway, I think that's ENs. C14 across. Oh, right. Organization that sent Perseverance to Mars. There we go. We've never looked back at the other half of that. And then long-standing ill will is, maybe this isn't, because this could be RNs, which is registered nurses, which is an easier placement for me. And then the R looked wrong here. Long-standing ill will, rancor. So EV credit, okay, fair enough. It's pretty similar to rebate. But I guess the difference is that it's not a direct cash rebate. It's a credit towards your federal income tax payments, presumably. It is effectively a rebate, but probably logistically simpler to implement. All right, Camper's Place maybe is an RV camp? No, you wouldn't have camp in the same word. RV park? Is that something? RV for recreational vehicle, a big camper, a big caravan. And then, I don't know, I'm not sure if this is right. I'll just come back to it. Oh, and here's a dash. An M dash? Is that an M dash? It looks shorter than an M dash to me. Let's look at what else we can fill in here. Anything up in the air for short? Division of a newsroom, blank effect, track figures, certain money transfer, And Mr. Roboto, oh, is this also still wrong? What on earth? So Mr. Roboto, oh no, oh maybe it is, no, maybe that was right. Is it Styx? Do I somehow incredibly, improbably remember the name of the band that played Mr. Roboto? Is it Styx? Help with the dishes. Yeah, you could dry the dishes. I think that might be correct. I'm amazed. Possible reason for a PG-13 rating could be the inclusion of sex in a film, and a certain money transfer could be a wire transfer. Track figures are odds. You're laying odds. I see. You're at the racetrack and you're placing bets. The horse racing track, for instance. So some daily temps are lows, as in highs and lows, high temperatures and low temperatures. And then blank effect, ripple effect? Egyptian Ophidian, asp. An asp must be an Ophidian. Okay, and then, so maybe this is RV Park. Why did I get rid of that? I can't remember. Okay, so this isn't, oh no, it's not an M dash, it's a minus sign. There we go. So the first thing I thought when I saw this clue, which is simply a dash or a minus sign, was that it's a continuation of an answer from elsewhere. So that happens sometimes in the crossword. You'll have a clue that's simply a dash, and it means you have to fill this in based on another clue somewhere else that will continue on into this one, or you'll infer how to do it because of the way the theme works or something. But that obviously wasn't the case here, because this is the only one of these in this entire grid, and the theme appears to have nothing to do with that sort of mechanic. So that's why I started thinking, oh, M dash, but then it's just a minus sign. Anyway, the only reason I'm explaining all this is because if you see this kind of thing, usually, almost always, it means there's some kind of special rule that has to be applied in order to fill in this clue. It usually doesn't mean a literal dash or minus sign. That's the only reason I'm explaining this, even though I know it's not relevant to today's puzzle. Oh, so Toro or Shiro Maguro at a sushi bar is tuna. And of course, this is one of those things where as soon as I see it, I think, yes, I recognize that, but it wasn't part enough of my active vocabulary to bring to mind instantly. Anyway, busy day in retrospect. Oh, it was a blur, and that's why it was in retrospect. Yes, that makes sense. Because all of the things I was thinking of didn't need to be in retrospect, which is why I didn't try putting any of them in the grid. They were all things you could have thought or said at the time, but that day was a blur. Okay, division of a new room. Oh, it's a desk. Okay, simpler than I was making it. And up in the air for short is to be determined, so it is a metaphorical rather than a literal interpretation of this phrase, and that's the puzzle. All right, I think, strangely enough, I maybe found that slightly easier than yesterday's Tuesday puzzle. I don't know why. I don't think there was any broad agreement that yesterday's puzzle was particularly difficult. I just found it a little bit tougher than the average Tuesday for whatever reason. This one less so. Some funny clues. I'm flabbergasted by this iMac thing. That just feels like such a specific, tiny, tiny detail. It's just, yeah, that's funny. It's not, I guess what I mean is it's not knowledge, if you see what I mean. And it's not even really trivia. It's kind of arbitrary, sort of industry-specific minutia, I guess. I would almost say minutia rather than sort of trivia or knowledge. I mean, I don't know why I'm focusing on this. I'm just very surprised by this. Its 27-inch model was discontinued in 2012. That's just such a strange, arbitrary, relatively useless piece of information. Anyway, that's fine. The rest of the puzzle was really nice. And 5-second rule. That's a very clever way to tie this all together. I mean, what funny ideas people come up with for themes. That it must be the case that people come up with these. I wonder if Joe Dini just encountered the phrase someone mentioned the 5-second rule, and he, you don't think twice about it because it's the kind of thing people reference generally. But sometimes a phrase just hits you in a certain way. And I'm sure if you're someone who already constructs crosswords, you're probably predisposed to be thinking about these uses of language in ways that you could use. And just the idea, 5-second rule. What if a 5 was the second thing? I mean, it's almost nothing, but it turned into this whole theme with 6 well-constructed answers. And they had to be symmetrically positioned, which means you needed they needed to be of matching length in the symmetrical position so that the choices are constrained. And also, it's not just that the second letter is a V in the phrase, it's that every single one of these is a two-letter initialism followed by a full word. And in each case, the initialism was the second one. So I guess what you'd have to do is you'd have to find two-letter initialisms in general with a V, and then they would have to be also part of phrases that incorporate them as standard. Anyway, fun theme, just one of those funny, totally arbitrary, strange themes that doesn't really mean anything. It's just a funny little exploration of language. I always enjoy that. Okay, all that said, let's move on to some clues from yesterday's puzzle. We had a few, so here we go. Both Dragon Traces and Spikle point out that EEG stands for electroencephalogram, and ECG or EKG stands for electrocardiogram. Now that one I definitely remembered. Electroencephalogram is I definitely knew that phrase, but it's sort of like with the tuna thing in today's puzzle, not enough part of my active vocabulary to be able to deploy it at the drop of a hat, even though I've encountered it and sort of basically understand what it is. So anyway, they each explain this. So Dragon Traces says, the electroencephalogram is a test to measure electric activity in the brain, and so is diagnostic for epilepsy, among many other conditions. And that the context of epilepsy was part of yesterday's clue. I don't remember in exactly what capacity. And then Spikle points out that the EEG and the ECG both involve taking readings of electrical activity. The EEG, the electroencephalogram, records the electrical activity of the brain, and the ECG, the electrocardiogram, records the electrical activity of the heart. So there we go, that's interesting. The pain whale further corrects my self-correction of AWOL, which I said earlier in my life I always thought stood for absent without leave. Or sorry, no, I thought it was away without leave. Sorry, that's what I thought it was earlier. And then I realized at some point, oh, it's absent without leave. But apparently even that was insufficiently correct because the pain whale says AWOL officially stands for absent without official leave, used in the military to indicate that a soldier has left their post without permission. So thank you for that further correction. Absent without official leave. There we go. Shaw Laws. Oh no, sorry, I just realized I forgot to do something. I'm sorry. I'll get to that in a second. Shaw Laws points out Petro-Canada is a former Crown corporation that is now a subsidiary of a larger energy company or just a gas station. Petro-Canada, that was referenced in comparison to, in the context of ESSO, ESSO, derived from the former Standard Oil. So thank you for that detail. And then this is the thing which I was just expressing dismay. Jacob Greenwood says, I thought I'd let you know we can hear the cell phone noise at around 15 and 17 minutes into yesterday's video. And I saved this comment because I was hoping I would remember to notice it before the video started. I suppose what I need to do is always put my phone in airplane mode before I start recording the video, and I completely forgot to do that today. So I'm very sorry if there was more interference. I really need to find a way to remind myself to do that each day. Anyway, sorry if that came up again. I don't know why it's started recently after a full year of it never being an issue, but anyway, so it goes. I'll need to take steps to address it, but that's it for today's video. Hopefully I can remember those steps for tomorrow's video, and I hope you also hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you join me for the Thursday crossword, in which we will have what may very well be the week's most ambitious, interesting, and intricate theme. I hope so. I hope you'll join me. Until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.